Hi. This time I should like to speak about the function of good contact points on your e-collar, whatever brand. You can compare it with a car. Imagine you have the best 4x4, but your tires have a profile with no grip. You go in the mud, and what do you see? Your good 4x4 has no grip on the ground, and due to that has no traction. Well, it's a little bit the same with an e-collar. You can have the best e-collar of the world. If your contact points don't make contact with the skin of the dog, you have success in 3 times. Not today, not tomorrow, never. So please don't underestimate the function of good contact points. And you can find them in all lengths, isolated, non-isolated, etc. Here I'm going to show you very fast a few ones in my hand. And these are what we call a little bit pointy contact point, and that's a little flat contact point. The flatter the contact point, the less risk you have that there is a necrosis accident on the neck of the dog. The more your contact point has a point, the bigger the risk that your dog will have necrosis when the dog is sensitive on his skin. So you must find an ideal balance between having contact with the skin of a dog without making the chance on a blister. So I'm gonna show you what the real invention of the chameleon concerning the contact points is, and I will upper the camera like this. This is the chameleon with one island and another island, and as you can see, every island has 1, 2, 3 possibilities to fixate 1, 2 or 3 contact points, or you can change the place of your contact points every day to diminish the chance that necrosis could come, or to diminish the chance that your dog desensitizes by always receiving the stim at the same spot. I turn the chameleon around, and there you will see the possibilities. You can also put 2 contact points on an island or 3 contact points on an island. What the feeling of the dog is, that's all what it is about. You must understand one thing: the more contact points you use, the more the dog will less feel the stimulus. So the more contact points you use, the less the sensation of the dog will be. That means that if you have a very sensitive dog, we would advise you to use very flat contact points, that's one, or to double the contact points, so to reduce the sensation of the dog. At the opposite, if you have a dog that is not very sensitive on the skin, and you know that your dog is very well brushed, we advise you to diminish the contact surface by going to a smaller surface, or the less contact points your dog has, the more sensitive he will be. So, here again, Imagine that your dog is not sensitive with 3. You take one off and you take the other off, and then you will have this here, 1 and 1. You can also use 1 there and only 1 at the other side. Very important to understand is that your chameleon is loaded with a red pole, which you can see a little bit. I try to put the camera there, a red sign, and a black pole, and it always goes, electricity goes from here to there. On this island, you see it better, it will go from here to there. Electricity always goes for the shortest way, the easiest way of the less resistance. Imagine that you say, well, my dog is not very sensitive, then you can take away those contact points and you only work with 1 there and 1 there. Or you work with 1 there and 1 there. This is all possible. It's all about you to figure it out for your dog. And remember, every dog has another character and every dog has another sensation. Part of the patent that my wife and me took were on very special contact points, and we call it the feather. And the feather is a contact point that you can install by putting 1 plastic screw there and 1 plastic screw there over the contact point. This is the contact point. Install it there. I will show you later. Very important is, if you fix the plastic bolts, make sure that you fix them tight. And as you can see, you will understand why we call it the feathers. We call it the feathers because they always bend and come back, bend and come back. And as you see, they are very well isolated. We will speak about that later. Here we use 1 on this island, and we're gonna install 1 feather on that island. If you follow me now, I will try to show you guys how this works. We're gonna try to do it together. First of all, there is a little washer here, a washer that we're gonna put there, and I will tell you why later. That little washer prevents that the feathers will mark on the island. Will mark, I mean, what we did see after using the chameleon months and months and months with feathers is that sometimes here and there you see the trace of the feather pushing in this soft plastic molding, and it's about 1 millimeter or 2 millimeter, but it makes so that the contact points are a little bit too deep in the molding. Well, shit happens. We did not know that by developing it. That's why we immediately react by putting a washer there, so that if you put this there, it will push on the washer and not in the plastic molding. I will show you on the example that we will do together. You put this there, that there. Now you take a plastic little screw that is delivered together. So you put your plastic bolt into the island, just fix it a little bit, and there again you take the other and you turn it, and then see if everything matches well. You must be sure that this here, this part and that part are touching the washer. It touches the washer, fine. Now we make sure that we tie it perfectly. And this is how my wife and me prefer to work. This is our preferred option. What happens here is that we work, the stimulus will go from this side to that side. Thank you. Like said before, the reason why we use the washers is, and I will try to show you this color after having been used for more than 6 months. You see there's a little mark here and a little mark there. So a mark here and a mark there. And this is where the feather are pushing in the soft plastic. And to prevent the feather to push in this soft plastic, we're gonna put a washer, plastic washer, there, sorry, there. You see, this is the washer. This is the washer. And we're gonna put the washer, sorry, we're gonna put the washer there, okay? So that when he pushes, this will, I try to show you, it's not easy, this will absorb the pushing of the feather, okay?